All right. Welcome, everyone, to our virtual tour of Southern Union State Community College. Thank you all for being here, for watching this, if you're watching it later. So I'm Rose. I'm from CFES Brilliant Pathways, and I'm a fellow here. And what I want to do today is just give you a little look at the campus of the college, give you a little bit of information about it, because one of our values at CFES Brilliant Pathways is that students have exposure to different colleges and career pathways. And so Southern Union is one of our partners, and they wanted to help us out with this. So they wanted to make sure that students were able to see their campus and get a little bit more information. Whether one of Southern Union's special features is that they're a huge manufacturing school. So they have an incredible new building, which I will show you in a little bit, that houses all of these wonderful training programs for manufacturing. So that's really something that we want to highlight today. And so let me start quickly with a video from their president. One moment. Oh, goodness. Give me just 1 second. Here we go. All right, sorry about that.
Hello, my name is Todd Shacken, president of Southern Union State Community College located in East Central Alabama. Southern Union has 3 campuses, one in Wadley, Alabama, one in Valley, Alabama, and one in Opelika, Alabama. We have 3 focus areas that are geared towards your success. First is academic transfer for students that want to transition to a 4-year degree, health sciences for those looking for medical careers, and technical education, where we provide education in fields such as machining, welding, automotive repair, etc. Today we're going to talk about the Center for Integrated Manufacturing here in Opelika, the home for our technical education programs. I hope you enjoy the virtual tour.
All right. Thanks to President Shackett for that video. That was a great introduction. I want to show you a little bit more of campus first before we get into the Center for Integrated Manufacturing. So let me bring you to campus. I hope you're all able to see this. This is one of the more well-known buildings on Southern Union's campus. This is the administrative building. So in this building, you will find President Shackett's office, student services, financial aid, the business office, as well as campus police. So this is really kind of where you need to go in case you just have questions about the school in general. I do want to clarify also that this is the Opelika campus. So they have, as President Shackett mentioned, there are 3 campuses, but this is the main tech campus, so this is the one we wanted to show you today. So if we zoom out a little bit, here is all of the campus. It's quite a green campus, which I think is something that's really nice. There's lots of open space, lots of places to sit outside, and you can see a few of the buildings. There's the administrative building, and so there's all sorts of space. And I will do my best to keep you all from getting seasick or motion sickness as we kind of move around campus. But I figured we would start first with the business center. So this is the Business and Technology Center. In here we have classrooms, all sorts of classrooms, faculty offices, and one of the bigger features is the Student Success Center. So every college wants their students to succeed, wants them to be doing well. So in this building are free student services, including tutoring, career exploration, all sorts of things that all surround the idea of maximizing your involvement in your learning and your development while you're at the school. College can be difficult for anyone, so it's really, really important that you have these support systems. And so the Student Success Center is absolutely going to be one of your support systems while you're on campus. One other fact about Southern Union is they were founded in 1993, so it's a fairly recent college, and it was a bunch of colleges existed kind of in the area, the 3 campuses, but they figured that it would just be easier to run under one name, so they all joined together in 1993. So it's a relatively new college. So here we have the Health Sciences Building. Like President Shackett mentioned, Southern Union does have a lot of health science programs, including radiology, nursing, all sorts of programs like that. So in the Health Science Building, you have computer labs, more classrooms, and where any of the faculty that's involved in health sciences, they're going to be in there. Right, some more of those careers: nursing, radiology, surgical technology, and emergency medical services. So Southern Union is a place you can go if you want to become an EMS, emergency medical technician, or emergency medical technician. So that's a great place. They have a ton of different programs for different levels, but certainly a great place to go if you're interested in health sciences. And this is the building that most of your classes would be in. So if I'll bring you over a little bit, this cool little coffee cart right here, Lunchbox Coffee. When I went to college, I just graduated in 2020. I did become addicted to coffee. It's something that I had every day, at least 1 cup. So they have a super cute little coffee shop, I guess, on campus. So Lunchbox Coffee is the place to go if you need that caffeine fix. So sorry, I'm going to move us around a little bit more. Bring us over here to the Higginbotham Academic Center. So in the Higginbotham Academic Center, you have more classrooms. This is actually where the science labs are. So if you have a science class that involves a lab, this is where you would be. Faculty offices, academic advising. So it's one of the main just academic buildings. It's another place where you might have classes. And keep going around campus. Something I do want to point out before we get too far into campus is that it's really green. Like we saw it from more the aerial view, but it just is a really beautifully green campus. There's tons of trees. So for me as a student, that seems like a great idea, perfect place to study outside on warmer days. So here we have the Learning Resources Center, and that's the library on campus. So it's where you go if you need to study in between classes, study after class, if you need any sort of books and materials like that. And it also houses the club meeting rooms and a conference center. So like all colleges, Southern Union does have several clubs and organizations. They have a lot of academic societies, so people who are studying in the same field. It's a really great opportunity to network, one of our essential skills. So meet other people who are also doing that, other students, and get some advice, get to talk about things. So academic societies are a really great feature. But there's also honor societies, a gospel choir, a music club for our more musically interested people, a global environmental organization, the College Bowl team. So College Bowl is kind of like Jeopardy, but you compete against different colleges. So they do have a College Bowl team as one of the clubs, as well as the Southern Union Players. So it's a theater group. So if you are interested in theater, but also maybe technology at the same time, it happens, then that is another club option as well. So go backwards a little bit, take you to a slightly different place on campus. Here we're just looking at the administration building again, and I'll show you a little bit more. It really is a green campus. It really shocked me how much open space there is, because some colleges are right in the middle of a city. So if this is somewhere where you're thinking a little bit more rural, this is a great option. So right here we have the Student Union. And so the Student Union is just a place to kind of relax in between classes. There's the campus bookstore if you're in need of any books or supplies. If you want any gear, get some sweatshirts with Southern Union on it. That's there. There's a little bit of food, some dining services, and a lounge area. And of course, this really beautiful outdoor seating area So outdoor seating is great for eating outside or studying outside, especially if there is some beautiful weather, which it looks like it was on this day. And I'll bring you over to the center, but before we go into the center, I wanted to give you just a little bit more information about Southern Union in general. So between the three campuses, there are about 5,000 students. So it's pretty small overall because on each campus, not all 5,000 students are going to be there. So it's probably closer to about 1,500 students per campus, which is nice if you want that small feel. Another important part to think about when you're thinking about college can be the acceptance rate. So some schools are highly competitive and they're selective. So they set a certain number of students that they can accept and they stick to that no matter what. And so that's great. But for students who maybe struggle a little bit more with their academics, Southern Union is what's called open admission. So they're not selective, they're not competitive. So pretty much as long as you put in an application and you're able to prove that you would be a good enough student, you're going to get in. So that's really nice. You don't have to worry as much about, oh no, like are they going to have a spot for me? They are going to have a spot for you as long as you apply. And so community colleges, just a little bit more generally, are two-year schools. So there are four-year schools, which are usually colleges or universities, but a community college is only 2 years. So most of the degrees that are given are either associate's degrees or a certificate program. So a certificate program would be even fewer credits, but it still gives you the next level of education. So let's go ahead and head inside. So here we have the Center for Integrated Manufacturing. And because Southern Union is such a technologically heavy school, what's really awesome is that they have done a 3D rendering or a 3D model of this entire building. So let me see if I can get this a little bigger for you all. There we are. And so here we are. If we walk a little bit forward, and I am sorry if this motion is a little bit too much for anyone, but this is right where Todd Schackett was standing President Schackett was standing when he gave his introduction. So we are right in the middle of the Center for Integrated Manufacturing. And if you look around, there's this nice lounge. Maybe you can hang out if you get there early for your class. Great opportunity to sit around. But I'll kind of bring us over here into one of the tech shops. Oop. I do apologize if I am moving too quickly. But we are able to just about walk through the middle of this building. So here we are. Looks like right here we have a little bit of academic center. So rows of chairs for students. Look like there's a whiteboard or a smartboard up there. You also have all this other technology in the room. And what these are places where you can start practicing your skills and getting real life experience with the things you're going to be end up doing. So there's a robotics trainer right there. Right here we have a 3-phase electrical trainer. I'm not even sure what that is because I am not someone who knows a ton about manufacturing, but these are all sorts of tools that students can use to gain a better understanding, more experience before they get out into the field. So I'll just kind of take us through this room. It's kind of a classroom, kind of a skills lab in a sense. But you have all of this stuff which is there for students to be gaining knowledge and expertise and practice. So this is clearly a robotics room as we look around and find all of these things that have to do with robots and training and, if you're learning how to do lift truck training. So they have these kind of simulations and tools for you to be using. And I'll kind of get us real close to this machine and probably back out into the hall. And as you can see, they did this really awesome 3D rendering of this building. And I'll just kind of bring us back out into the lounge. Oh, goodness. So a few more of the other programs that are there between the three campuses. So there is business management. So, if you are looking to learn a little bit more about business, running a business, that's there on campus. Again, like we mentioned, the health sciences. So there are several nursing programs. You can get specialized in certain medical areas, so radiology, MRIs, surgical technology. You can learn to become a physical therapist assistant. So take 2 years, learn a little bit more about that. And then, like we said, the tech programs are really kind of where Southern Union is able to shine. Automotive service technology, engineering and design, obviously robotics, industrial electricity, or kind of electronics just in general, welding, plastics engineering. So all throughout this building, and I'll probably bring us to another classroom, there are so many programs for students to learn more about the industry and, again, get that real-world experience. And some of these programs you could go into right out of high school, but one of the beauties of going to college is that you gain even more knowledge, more expertise. You are able to become a more competitive applicant when you're eventually looking at jobs. Goodness, sorry, we're moving right around. And so this is why we really recommend even just a 2-year program. So you can see there's into this large shop right in front of us. And there are also some classrooms in this building. We can perhaps stand right here. So, you can't always just be using the technology that you have. Sometimes you have to learn a little bit about what kind of goes into it behind the scenes. So there are still classrooms. You might still have what's thought of as a more traditional class. But as you can see, all of these are classrooms. They're not lecture halls. They are going to be small classes, which are really nice for that kind of one-on-one learning, and so on and so forth. So so we can see into, again, not very well, but there is down there a large shop where you're able to get some experience. So I'm going to switch to another campus. So again, that was the Opelika campus. But the main campus, so to speak, one second, let me line up the next one, is the Wadley, Alabama campus. So unfortunately, they don't have the same cool 3D tour. You can't quite walk through campus in the same way. But here, again, there's another administration building, so those same business things, financial aid office, if you need to talk to anyone. Another student center. This one looks really gorgeous. Looks like it's right on the pond. And this is what I wanted to show you. So this is the dormitory. So most community colleges are commuter-based, so most people drive to them and take their classes sometime during the day, sometimes in the evening. But Southern Union State Community College is fortunate enough to have a 230-person dorm. So if you do want that more traditional college experience, or you are coming from out of state, there is the option to live on campus and get that more traditional college experience, which is really nice. So there's a dormitory, there's a dining hall. So anyone who's not looking to commute, this is another really great option. There are some athletic fields on this campus. Baseball, softball, other sports they have include golf, cheerleading, basketball, volleyball. There are also softball fields, of course. So there are plenty of options for things to do on campus. It's not just the academic stuff. They really wanted to make sure that this is that whole college experience again. So one more quick fact, so tuition for in-state students, there tends to often be a difference between in-state and out-of-state. Colleges like for students who come from their own state to go to them, so they give them a bit of a discount. So the in-state tuition is approximately $4,000 a year for in-state Alabama students. And for out-of-state students, it is a little bit of a steeper price. It's about $7,500 a year. But the other thing that we have to remember when we're talking about tuition is that there's a difference between what's called the sticker price and what is advertised. So those numbers that I just gave are the sticker price. There is always some form of financial aid. So as long as your family makes under a certain amount of money, you are eligible for financial aid. You can get government aid, and you can get scholarships or grants. And while, coming out of state, $7,500 for a year sounds really expensive, it's highly unlikely that you're going to pay that full price. You're going to get some sort of financial aid or scholarship, and so there is a way to make college more affordable if it is something you're really interested in, and especially this technology program. So I was reading a little bit more about the building, and it is 7 buildings in one, the Tech Center. If I can share it again, just to give you another idea. So this Tech Center, and I'll try and kind of bring us back out a little bit just to see a little bit more. This whole building is absolutely massive, and within it are truly 7 training programs in one. So, the price of a college shouldn't always be a deterrent, because it really is likely that you can find ways to make it more affordable and make it something that can work for you. All right, let me double check my notes to make sure that I don't have anything else that I wanted to share with you. Nope, we talked about the different programs, we talked about the different buildings on campus and the resources that are there for you if you decided to go as a student. We talked about, one more thing that I wanted to highlight was this idea of transferability. So community colleges are often a place that students go for a little while to get that associate's degree or get classes for a lower price, and then transfer onto a 4-year college. 4-year colleges sometimes have a program that's more focused on what you want. Not always, but if it's something where you want to get a start on college and you want to improve your grades maybe from high school, maybe they weren't great before, but now you can get a little bit of a better grip on your academics, you can learn a little bit more, you can use a community college to transfer onto a 4-year. So it is an option, but again, if you're looking for more of that technology manufacturing base, Southern Union has training programs where you would be done in 2 years. You wouldn't have to think about going on to another school. You would have 2 years, you would get your certificate or your associate's degree, and you would be ready to be employed in the field. So, all right, now I think I have finally told you all that I was hoping to share with you. So thank you all for joining today, and please let me know if you have any questions. Again, my name is Rose Breen from CFES Brilliant Pathways, and I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this. Bye.